WrestleMania 20 with the tagline, "Where it all begins again." So WrestleMania 20 was held March 14th, 2004 at the place where it all started in the beginning at WrestleMania 1 in 1985, Madison Square Garden. Same venue as WrestleMania 10 was, but not for WrestleMania 30, which was a waste and a disgrace. So let's begin. Now this one, I personally have to put this down as my favorite WrestleMania. I have to be honest, but because of the return of The Undertaker and a few other matches too, but one of the matches on there just really killed it, which everybody was really pissed off with. Yeah. But let's get right into it without further ado. Now, the intro, which they did of it, was really good. It had like Vince McMahon on there, along with Shane McMahon and his baby, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that was a good way to open it. And the theme song as well, we had two of them. That was Touche by Godsmack and Step Up by Drowning Pool. Really good song, also from that movie The Punisher, I believe it's from. Alright, so here we go. Now what I will be doing is, after I review the matches, I will be saying my out of 10 thing. So we begin with the Boys Choir of Harlem singing America the Beautiful, which is pretty good. Then the fireworks come on when they do the intro, which is really good. I can pretty much go through the whole thing of this because I remember I ordered this on pay-per-view. Yeah. So our opening match is for the WWE United States Championship, when it actually was defended a lot, but right now it's not defended a whole lot. So here we go. Okay, so like I said again, and it is between the challenger, John Cena, who surprisingly, I know one of my friends who reviewed this as well, but I'm just giving my opinions, who got a pretty good response from the crowd, a big pop as a matter of fact, because he's from West Newbury, Massachusetts, and they're in New York. But yeah, very surprising thing that he did get a big pop from the crowd. And there you are. Well, we're not done with the match. I'm just telling you that he got a big pop. Big Show pretty much gets nothing. Not really a mixed reaction, but mostly boos. So in the match, John Cena attempting to goes for the FU when it was called that, but now it's, with it being PG, they just call it attitude adjustment, or the guy Ebenezer Millsdorf, Grimm's Toy Show, calls it the apple juice adjustment. Yeah. But like I said, it used to be called FU in that time, and now it says attitude adjustment. Alright, so he gets a 2 count following that, then tries to attack him with the signature chain, but the referee sees it and throws it away, but Cena has his brass knuckles and hits him with that, and then that time he gives him with another FU again, and this time he gets the pin, and he's the new United States Champion, which I believe is his first championship ever. Not a bad opener, but kind of disappointed to see him use the brass knuckles, But still, not a bad opener, but I'm going to give this, I will give it a solid 6 for this opener. Alright, so anyway, yeah, just a solid 6 for that. Now the next one, which is between, well, it's the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. I didn't really pay much attention to this. I could care less about this. And that is between the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the Tag Team Championships, Rob Van Dam and Booker T, an unlikely tag team, facing off against Garrison Cade, who also knows as Lance Cade, and Mark Jindrak, the Dudley Boys, who are from New York as well, and La Resistance, Rene Dupree and Rob Conway. Now, like I said, I wasn't really looking forward to this at all. I could care less who won, but the winners were Rob Van Dam and Booker T by getting the 5-star frog splash. Only cared about the Dudley boys getting the win, but they did not win, unfortunately. And that's it. Next, we have the next match. This was pretty much a little bit of a shocker match, maybe. Just, yeah, it was just a little bit of a shocking ending. Maybe to some people, or just disappointing ending. And that is between Christian and Chris Jericho, two former tag team champions and partners going at it. Well, because of his love interest in Trish Stratus, Jericho that is, and she winds up interfering and accidentally hitting Jericho in the face with her elbow, thinking it was Christian, but allowed him to roll him up and get the win. And following that, she turns on Jericho and slaps him several times, and Christian in the unprettier, or the impaler, whatever it's called, just unprettier. Yeah, just a disappointing ending. It really was, as I thought Jericho would get it easily, and then Christian and Trish Stratus just wind up kissing each other on the entrance ramp, which is a waste. It made it even worse. But the match was not bad, but I'm going to have to give this a solid 5, just like that, because it just could have been a little bit better. And I know you're probably thinking, you consider this your favorite WrestleMania? Well, I'll get to it in just a second, why I consider it the best. But I don't know about my number one best, though. It's tough to choose a number one best. Alright, next we'll move on to, this is the handicap tag team match. And also in this, the Intercontinental Championship is not on the line, which is pretty much bad because you have the United States Championship on the line, you got the World Tag Team Championship, you have the Cruiserweight title, the WWE Tag Team Championship, the Women's Championship, the WWE Championship, and the World Heavyweight Championship, but not the Intercontinental Championship match, which I know is disappointing because the next match features Evolution, Randy Orton, Batista, and Ric Flair, although Ric Flair's not with them anymore in Evolution. It's not Evolution without Ric Flair. It really is not. Evolution right now is a fail right now with Triple H, Randy Orton, and Batista. Yeah, that is just really not good. But anyway, Evolution, Orton, Batista, and Flair against the reuniting Rock and Sock Connection, The Rock and Mick Foley, the first time since the year of 1999, I believe. Something like that. Although Evolution won it with Randy Orton giving Mick Foley an RKO. Disappointing match, I thought the Rock and Sock Connection would win because I know a lot of people consider Evolution a great stable or tag team, but I don't really say much anything about them. I like their theme song, but I really never cared for them. I really did not. Yeah, I didn't. Alright, now we just move on. Well, for the match as well, I forgot that. The match, it was alright, but the wrong team won, so I'm just going to give it another 5. Yeah. Next, we have Mean Gene Okerlund announcing the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2004. I think I can get it up. Not really a whole lot to say about who was in the 2004 Hall of Fame, but some good. Actually, I'll take that back. Good ones. We have Big John Studd, who was inducted by the Big Show, passed away unfortunately, and his son was there. The guy who was best known for in the match against Andre the Giant and getting body slammed by him for like $10,000 or something like that. We also had Don Morocco inducted, who I think was in that match with the Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Yeah. Okay, and it was inducted by Mick Foley as well, and he was also the first King of the Ring the first winner of the King of the Ring tournament, as it says. And we also had Greg the Hammer Valentine, who was I didn't really watch him a lot, but he was one as well, inducted by the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. And we also have Harley Race, inducted by Ric Flair. We had the Junkyard Dog, who unfortunately passed away as well, inducted by Ernie Ladd, and his daughter was there to take it. It kind of sounded like they were booing him, but I think they were going root, 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 like wolf or rough. Yeah. But it actually had a pretty good amount of people that were inducted to the 2004 Hall of Fame. The first time ever they featured this, because it started actually back in 1993 when they inducted Andre the Giant, the first one, and the rest of them as well. But let's get back to 2004. We also had Sergeant Slaughter, who was pretty much long overdue, in my opinion. A one-time WWF champion and two-time NWA United States Heavyweight champion. Okay, and we also had superstar Billy Graham as well, inducted by Triple H. Memorable wrestler back in the day, but, a little bit before my time, And we also had Tito Santana, inducted by Shawn Michaels. They pretty much had a rivalry back in the day. El Matador, Tito Santana, you probably remember. Arriba. We also had Bobby the Brain Heenan, the memorable commentator back in the day and manager. Great guy, he is still alive to this day, but just say some prayers, for him. As there are some recent pictures of him and some people just don't think he looks all that great. And also we had, I don't even know why, but he was a celebrity inductee, and that is Pete Rose. It kind of sounded like that they were booing him, but I think they were saying Pete, Pete, Pete. I may be wrong, but yeah, the celebrity inductee and inducted by Kane, not surprisingly, because he tombstoned 3 times at WrestleMania 14, 15, and 2000, 3 years in a row. Yeah, so Pete Rose as well. Now, a lot of people that were definitely inducted to the 2004 Hall of Fame. This may have been the most. And finally, the last one, Jesse the Body Ventura, the former commentator as well, back in the day with Vincent Mann and Gorilla Monsoon, and former governor of Minnesota, I believe, or yeah, the 38th governor of Minnesota from 99 to 2003. And there you are. So that's it for the Hall of Famers. And now we just went back to, I know I went on with that, but let's just get back to the rest of the stuff. And now this one, well, this wasn't even, actually, I kind of enjoyed this. Don't get me wrong. This is the interpromotional Playboy evening gown match between Tori Wilson and Sable, returning for the first time in a while, or 6 or 7 months maybe or whatever, and taking on the unlikely tag team that I just call it unlikely tag team because really they just were bound not to get along, and that is Stacy Keibler and Miss Jackie, who is Charlie Haas's real life wife right now. And both of them just decide to wrestle in their lingerie, which makes it better, it really does, I think it was great. Sable still looked great, and Tori Wilson was great as well, but Miss Jackie didn't want to take her clothes off, so they just bring her in the ring and unstrip her. And, back and forth stuff, but just pretty much nothing at all. It was kind of quick, but Tori Wilson and Sable get the win by Tori Wilson rolling up Miss Jackie and getting the win, and she still got her pinned up, and she pulls up her underwear, and it kind of looks like that we may see her naked or whatever, but I think she had a thong on underneath, but I think Taz said or whatever, he's like, what the hell? And yeah, but it was still enjoyable to watch for me, because, if you like beautiful women or anything like that, but yeah, I know much of some people's delight, it was probably not all that great. But I'm gonna give this, well, I'll give it a 5, because if I give it a 6 or whatever, you're probably gonna criticize me or whatever and say you're gonna give this a 6. This thing was boring. I don't know. Moving on. The next match is the Gauntlet style, not Gundam style, Gauntlet style match, where 2 people face off against each other, and then after they are eliminated, the next person comes in, and so on. the gauntlet-style match for the Cruiserweight, called the Cruiserweight Open or whatever, for the Cruiserweight Championship. And we had a lot of competitors in this one. We had a bunch. Well, I got to figure out. Okay, I'll just do it this way. We had, well, the two people that, never mind. All right, we had the Ultimo Dragon, who he pretty much botched his entrance. He kind of slipped. I saw it on pay-per-view. I did have it once, but I don't know where the hell it is. He slipped when he made his entrance, and he ran out, and then he got on top of the second rope, and he slipped again. But on the WrestleMania 20 pay-per-view on DVD or wherever, they edited it out. Yeah. And we also had Shannon Moore as well in it. We had Jamie Noble, Funaki, indeed. We had Nunzio. We had Billy Kidman, Rey Mysterio, Tajiri, and Akio, also known later in the years as Jimmy Wang Yang. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that, I really do. Okay, and of course, the Cruiserweight Champion as well, Chavo Guerrero, along with Chavo Guerrero Sr. Now, Rey Mysterio looked pretty cool. He looked like the Flash. He was dressed in red, and he had like bolts on him as well, which is pretty cool. A lot of great moves, like from Billy Kidman. He did a shooting star press off of the top rope onto Jamie Noble, I think, and somebody else, which is pretty cool. And I think the audience went, "Holy shit! Holy shit!" It was pretty cool. And a big power bomb that Rey Mysterio does. He does a little somersault and down on Billy Kidman, and he just falls right onto the mat. And that was just a pretty big shot. I've never seen anything like that before. But Chavo Guerrero unfortunately retains by rolling up Rey Mysterio and holding on to Chavo Guerrero Sr.'s hands and unfortunately winning, which was not good. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to give it a 4.5 because of the way Chavo had to do that. I thought Rey Mysterio would get it, and I would definitely give it a 7 or 6. Probably 6. All right. Well, we got to move on to this match now because this match was not good. And this is probably the reason why a lot of people don't consider this one of the best WrestleManias or anything, but got to go through it. And that is the next match between Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. With the special guest referee Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, Stone Cold gets a pretty good response from the crowd, mostly cheers, but Brock Lesnar makes his entrance and gets nothing but boos, nothing. Pretty much. No, maybe some cheers, but probably 10% of them, but nothing. Then Goldberg makes his entrance, and pretty much a mixed reaction, I think. I did hear some cheers, but again, boos. But then the crowd is into it, and well, pretty much was tired of this match. They were just chanting back and forth to this random chants like Bret Hart, or ECW, ECW, or Goldberg sucks, Lesnar sucks, Stone Cold, Stone Cold. And it was just pretty much, yeah, it was boring, and everybody hated this match, but Goldberg gets the win with the jackhammer, and finally the match is over, and Lesnar and Goldberg, who wind up leaving after this, Lesnar, who would pursue a career in football, which was a waste, and he winds up giving the fingers to the crowd, much to their delight, and then he gives it to Stone Cold, and big mistake there, he gets a stunner for his trouble. And Stone Cold has his beer as well, and he celebrates with Goldberg, who drinks something as well, but Stone Cold gives him a stunner, much to the audience's delight, and it would have been funny if they would have said, "Thank you, Austin," or "Thank you, Stone Cold," if they would have said that. But, yeah. Yeah, this match is just absolutely crap. So, they do rate this pretty much 0 out of 10 because of the way it was. But just to be funny, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 10. Yeah, I'll just give it a 1. But don't get me wrong, I did enjoy seeing both of these guys wrestle back in the day, even Goldberg as well, but I know some people would think otherwise, but I just pretty much enjoyed seeing him wrestle. All right, moving on. The next one, which is the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the WWE Tag Team Championships. You know, when they had the World Tag Team Championships and the WWE Tag Team Championships back in the day. So, here we go. We have the World's Greatest Tag Team, which I mentioned WrestleMania 19, Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin, the Basham Brothers, Doug and Danny. Yeah, I made sure I had their names right. And the APA, Farouk and Bradshaw, taking on Too Cool, Rikishi, and Scotty 2 Hotty. Again, I didn't really care who won this one either. Same thing with the World Tag Team Championship, but I was hoping it would be the APA, Farouk and Bradshaw. But unfortunately, they did not, and Too Cool retains, and I give this one a 4 because it would have been a higher one if the APA would have got it. Yep. Next, we move on to this one. Now, this is for the WWE Women's Championship, but the first ever hair versus title match for the WWE Women's Championship, between Molly Holly and Victoria, where the stipulation is if Molly Holly wins, she is the WWE Women's Champion, but if she loses, her hair must be shaved bald, must be cut off, and her head must be shaved bald. And the match was just pretty much, it was nothing, it was boring, but Victoria winds up reversing into like a little reverse pin, and Molly Holly's down in 1, 2, 3, and JR's like, oh my god, and Molly just really doesn't want it to happen, so she tries to run away, and Victoria just puts her in a sleeper and puts her in the barber chair, which has like straps in it and has her hooked into it so she can't get away, and just takes the trimmers and just completely just takes it all off, and it wasn't really that great to watch. It was better to watch it when Kurt Angle got his head shaved bald by Edge at Judgment Day 2002. But this one it wasn't hard to watch, but poor Molly, she just sitting there and just getting her head shaved, well, not with a razor or anything, just getting her hair trimmed off everywhere and just yelling like to get out of the chair, and she couldn't. Yeah. But, I'm gonna have to give this match, I'm gonna have to give it a 3.5, just because, yeah, it was just, some women matches are good, and some of them are just okay. Yeah. Some are okay, and some are bad. Next one, we move on to the WWE Championship match between the challenger Kurt Angle and Eddie Guerrero. Viva la Raza. Now, this was a good match. This was good to see these two good wrestlers facing off against each other. Eddie Guerrero, who spent a lot of time in WCW and I think ECW as well, and Kurt Angle, the former Olympic gold medalist. I honestly didn't care who won, but in the end, Kurt Angle going for the ankle lock on Eddie Guerrero, but he does reverse it, and Eddie Guerrero is untying his boot like he may have an injury or something. You know how he did in that time, lying and cheating and stealing? Like, like cheat to win or whatever, like the way he did that, which is pretty cool. So he's untying his boot, and Kurt Angle goes for the ankle lock and puts him in it, and Eddie Guerrero winds up losing his boot and rolls up Kurt Angle and kind of uses the ropes, it looks like, but he gets the win just like that, and Kurt Angle is just in complete shock that he lost and just can't believe it, and Eddie Guerrero is the winner and remains champion. But I will give this match a 6, just because it was good to see these two wrestle against each other. But had it been a little bit better if he would have won with like the 5-star Frog Splash, no, the Frog Splash. Or if he had not used the ropes or whatever. I just don't pretty much care when everybody has to use the ropes for leverage to win like that. Alright. Well, the next one, now this match, this is the one that I was definitely looking forward to, especially on pay-per-view, because let's go back to Survivor Series 2003. The Undertaker versus Vince McMahon in the Buried Alive match, where it looks like Vince McMahon is really going to be buried alive, but instead a fireball or something happens when the Undertaker's about to go into this machine and like dump all the dirt on Vince McMahon, but a fireball hits him right in the face, and it's Kane who appears and puts him into the grave and puts all of the dirt onto the Undertaker, and that's like the end of the Undertaker. And back in that time, he was still the big evil, his big evil gimmick, and he was still a face. So Kane is like saying that the Undertaker's never coming back or anything like that, but then in like January or something like that or whatever it was, a promo happens. Well, actually, it happened at the Royal Rumble, the 2004 Royal Rumble. Kane was in the Rumble and dominating a lot of people, but then the next participant's about to enter, and the lights go out, and the gong happens, and a huge pop happens, like it's going to be The Undertaker, but it winds up not happening, and Kane is eliminated by Booker T, I believe. But it winds up being the worthless Spike Dudley, and much to that, for him pulling that prank or whatever, or him just in the Rumble, Kane chokeslams him onto the ramp. So now more promos happen, and Kane is on Raw, and here comes like a promo, and it's like a little thing with a cross of the Undertaker and a thing, and it just says on there that he will return in 34 days, and pretty much as the Undertaker, the one that we always knew, not the American Badass or as the Dead Man, but not as the American Badass or the Big Evil guy. So here we go. Kane makes his entrance with a pretty cool entrance. The whole town is burning, which just makes it pretty cool in there, but this is the way it is. But he pretty much doesn't get anything from the crowd. Probably some cheers and stuff, but pretty much nothing. Because everybody is really looking forward to The Undertaker returning. So here we go. The lights go out, and I can go through the whole thing of this because I remember watching this. This is really good. And the lights are out, and all of a sudden we hear, "Oh, yes!" And it's Paul Bearer making his first WrestleMania return since WrestleMania 2000, which is really cool. And he has the urn as well, and the Grim Reapers are coming out as well with torches, and they're holding up the torch just like this so he can make his entrance. Then the gong happens, and another huge pop happens. Thunder and lightning is happening. Then the gong happens, and like a new theme is coming up for him. And then he comes right out, and the crowd pops again, and he looks great. He almost looks like the same thing, but he has this black hat, and he has a black trench coat. He still has his leather pants as well, kind of like the Big Evil gimmick a little bit, but he has the hat as well and the theme song. Makes his entrance, and audience is great. They were chanting Undertaker, which is really was great. It really was. And his hair was was still short a little bit, but it takes a while for your hair to grow back. And Kane is like in disbelief that he can't believe he's right there, and just looking at him and keeps saying, "You are not real," and attempts to touch him, and he does, and he smacks him, and pretty much The Undertaker just handled this match. He pretty much owned Kane, gave him like a leg drop, and then he gives him the choke slam as well. Kane gave him a choke slam too, but he got up, and then Undertaker and then goes for the tombstone. It wasn't long of a match. It was only like 7 minutes, but he got the tombstone, and he gets the win 1, 2, 3, and he advances to 12-0. And it was very good. The crowd didn't really say all that much. They were pretty quiet. But somebody rated this one a 2 out of 10 stars. I 100% disagree. I'm gonna have to give this match a 7 because I really enjoyed it. Because I'm a huge fan of The Undertaker, but I just really thought that this was a pretty good match. But despite the crowd being quiet, I don't care. It was good. And there you are. Now that this leads us to the last match of the night, the triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship between the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, the winner of the 2004 Royal Rumble after entering at number 1, Chris Benoit, and the World Heavyweight Champion, Triple H. Now, pretty much the crowd was definitely behind Chris Benoit because it just seemed obvious for him to win because he was number 1 and he was in there for like over an hour in the Rumble, or maybe not an hour, maybe less. I don't really know. I didn't really pay attention. Anyway, Triple H just pretty much gets booze when he enters because everybody's just damn sick and tired of him carrying the belt around. Because I think he had been the champion for, I don't really know. It was, he lost it to Goldberg at Unforgiven 2003. Then he got it back at Armageddon 2003, and then he was still champion. But I guess everybody's just sick and tired of him carrying the belt. So, pretty much a lot of blood from Shawn Michaels in this, is I think, or maybe it's Triple H. I don't know. But Benoit didn't really do any of that much, and the crowd pretty much turns on Shawn Michaels when he like sidelines with Triple H, like when they do like a double team maneuver on him, and Shawn Michaels is like in the crippler crossface, and Triple H grabs his arm so he doesn't tap out or anything. Then Shawn Michaels is knocked out of the ring, and Triple H is put into the crippler crossface by Benoit. He's pretty close to the rope, but Benoit reverses it and puts him like right into the middle of the ring, and now he's got nowhere to go, and it pretty much looks like he's really going to tap out. But Shawn Michaels just never appears, and he still has it in him, and he's just trying to hold on, and he just can't do it, and he taps out finally, and a big pop from the crowd, and especially JR with him, with his commentary, which is really good. Yeah, definitely a really good main event. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I really did like seeing Chris Benoit wrestle, and it gets good at the end too because Eddie Guerrero, his best friend as well, came into the ring as well and celebrated with him, and then his wife Nancy and son Daniel are also in there as well. And it's just sad that these two, Daniel and Nancy, are not here anymore, unfortunately, and same with Benoit, just not saying any more about it. But again, it was just a very good match. Great ending, great pop from the crowd, and I give this one an 8.5 because it was very good. But these people pretty much rated on here this thing. They rate this a 7.5 out of 10. But pretty much 8.5 for me, but that's my opinion. So there you are. Well, that's my review of WrestleMania 20, and out of 10 for the whole entire thing, I give this one, even though I consider it one of my favorites, not my number 1 favorite, I give this entire event an 8. An 8 out of 10 because, like I said again about The Undertaker and Kane, which I enjoyed, Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle, which is good too, but the Goldberg and Lesnar match really killed it. But the main event saved it, and it was great. And that is it. That's my review of WrestleMania 20, and I hope you all enjoy. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It is not a bad thing. It is a good thing, and I will see you all with more videos.